check, check. And usually give you thumbs up. Check, check, check.
So let's sing a song. What can we sing?
My memory is not like the other one. Turn to strike my face. Always second place. Tell me again, why is it I never can do anything right? Complicated theories of life, sarcastically. But we both know the way it's gonna go. In the same way, maybe I'm not all that you thought. And we don't move like we used to do. In the same way, maybe you're not such a hot rod. Take back again all that I ever was. It was only just a phase. I never thought of it that way. But what do I know? I'm sorry for not wanting to be your decor. Truth is such a violent force, pushing you away. But we both know the way it's gonna go.
Okay, hi, hello everyone. I'm Tiffany Sims and I'm the new PIC faculty sponsor and 6th grade global cultures teacher. The last time I was on this stage was 18 years ago when I did my chapel talk, and I never really thought I'd be back. But here I am, much older, a little bit wiser, but still just as nervous. I've come a full circle, literally, because for the past decade, I've traveled and lived around the world, and behind me, you'll see some random photos because I know everyone loves visuals, and pictures really do say 1,000 words. The circle I've traveled since graduating was not smooth, nor was it easy, but it was most certainly the right path for me as it allowed me to create the person I am today. George Bernard Shaw said, "Life is not about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself." And that's exactly what I set out to do when I accepted a job in Bangkok, Thailand, and boarded a plane in 2010 with only 2 small suitcases in tow. When I boarded that plane, I was leaving behind every friend, every family member, and every familiar aspect of life that I had ever known to discover a world that I knew was out there, but I had yet to experience. And as hard as it was for me to leave my known world, it was the best decision I've ever made. After living in Thailand for 4 years, I then moved on to Hamburg, Germany, where I quickly learned the cold, dark, and rainy German weather didn't suit me at all. So after finishing my 2-year contract there, I then went to Dubai and the UAE just to see what that was like, and that's where I've been for the past 4 years. By the way, spending 10 years abroad was never my intention. It's just what happened and what I chose to do to create the person I am today. So for the past 10 years, I've spent every spare penny traveling and literally jumping around the world, as you saw in some of the photos. So far, I've visited about 97 countries, which seems like a lot, and it is, but there's still so much more out there. I've actually only covered about 40% of the world, which really surprised me when I created a map last week. People often ask me, "What's your favorite place you visited?" And that question is impossible to answer. I truly appreciate and respect, if not love, every place I've ever been. I think it was Confucius who said, "Wherever you go, go with all your heart." And I've tried to live my life with that quote at the core. I believe it has 2 meanings. Go with purpose and intention and make the best of it. Don't focus on what you're missing, like friends and family and their major life events, but rather focus on the present and what opportunities you have around you. Secondly, I believe this quote means to completely embed yourself in your surroundings. It was important for me to have an open heart and an open mind, because each location brought with it new experiences and challenges, new friends, new foods and languages, new religions, and new social norms. It was and still is important for me not to judge something as weird or wrong just because it's different from what I'm maybe familiar with. So I'm going to leave you with a short video, maybe, that emphasizes that idea that it's not weird, it's just different. And remember that wherever you go, go with all your heart. Thanks.
So imagine you're standing on a street anywhere in America, and a Japanese man comes up to you and says, "Excuse me, what is the name of this block?" And you say, "I'm sorry, well, this is Oak Street, that's Elm Street. This is 26th, that's 27th. He says, "Okay, but what is the name of that block?" You say, "Well, blocks don't have names. Streets have names. Blocks are just the unnamed spaces in between streets." He leaves a little confused and disappointed. So now imagine you're standing on a street anywhere in Japan. You turn to a person next to you and say, "Excuse me, what is the name of this street?" And they say, "Oh, well, that's block 17 and this is block 16. And you say, "Okay, but what is the name of this street?" And they say, "Well, streets don't have names. Blocks have names. Just look at Google Maps here. There's block 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. all of these blocks have names, and the streets are just the unnamed spaces in between the blocks. And you say, okay, then how do you know your home address? I said, well, easy. This is District 8. There's Block 17, house number 1. You say, okay, but walking around the neighborhood, I noticed that the house numbers don't go in order. He said, of course they do. They go in the order in which they were built. The first house ever built on a block is house number 1. The second house ever built is house number 2. Third is house number 3. It's easy. It's obvious. So I love that sometimes we need to go to the opposite side of the world to realize assumptions we didn't even know we had, and realize that the opposite of them may also be true. So for example, there are doctors in China who believe that it's their job to keep you healthy. So any month you are healthy, you pay them. And when you're sick, you don't have to pay them because they failed at their job. They get rich when you're healthy, not sick. In most music, we think of the 1 as the downbeat, the beginning of the musical phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4. But in West African music, the 1 is thought of as the end of the phrase, like the period at the end of a sentence. So you can hear it not just in the phrasing, but the way they count off their music. 2, 3, 4, 1. And this map is also accurate. There's a saying that whatever true thing you can say about India, the opposite is also true. So let's never forget, whether at TED or anywhere else, that whatever brilliant ideas you have or hear, that the opposite may also be true. Domo arigatou gozaimashita.
Hey everyone, my name is Caitlin and I'm a senior co-captain on the bowling team, and I'm here to make an announcement about tryouts. So tryouts are October 13th through 15th, which is the week after fall break. And bowling is a super fun way to meet new friends, and especially for you sophomores and freshmen. We would love to see a bunch of your faces there. If you have any questions, you can contact Coach Bullard at jbullard@gps.edu if you have any questions or are interested. I hope to see you all there. Thank you.
Hey y'all, I'm Mary Kate and I'm one of your junior student council representatives. So I'm here making an announcement regarding an email that Miss Vita sent to y'all late last week about a new Bruiser Bowl challenge. So for this challenge this month, we're gonna be, you take a video of yourself thanking the Marcom department and the Board of Trustees department, and you submit it to a link that she sent to y'all. And once you do this, you'll receive points for Bruiser Bowl. And right now, the seniors are in the lead. Yeah. And then the juniors are second place, and sophomores are third, and freshmen are in last. And there's also a new Bruiser Bowl board, which is on the staircase going down to the cafeteria. So check that out and submit your videos. Thanks.
Good afternoon, ladies. I only have one announcement for you this afternoon. Today, snapshots come out, so we've been at school for one whole grading period, during which we've been pretty lax and forgiving in regards to your uniforms. But now that we're past that point, please make sure you are fully in uniform every day, ID badge on, outside of your sweatshirt, etc. Otherwise, I would like to move us on to our chapel speaker. I'd like to introduce to the stage Tammy Crawford to introduce her daughter and our chapel speaker, Sarah Frances Crawford.
How does a mother introduce her own daughter? I really struggled with that, so I decided to get some help from an old friend that has helped Sarah Frances in the past. Bertram from the show Jessie? You might remember him. He helped her with her Stucco campaign last year. Unfortunately, I got his video too late to incorporate today's chapel talk, but go check it out on Instagram, and you might want to all go check it out because he went a little rogue and has an inspirational speech for the whole class of 2021 in there. If you had asked me 3 years ago if we would be standing here for her chapel talk, I had my doubts. She had a bit of a rough entry as a new ninth grader at GPS, but after a few months, she settled in and has cruised along smoothly and, dare I say, even thrived. One thing that I'm sure her teachers and classmates have noticed, she likes to be seen and heard. She's not afraid to stand out. Now, she may not always have the best timing or choose the best audience. And I often think about back when she was in second grade, when she had the only speaking part at the church Christmas Eve nativity service. She already had her time in the spotlight with her speaking part, but that wasn't quite enough attention. As the service ended and it was quiet and all the children gathered around the manger with the minister in front of the congregation, she starts doing a dance. I'm awesome, take a picture of me. I wanted to melt. She has never lacked confidence or sass. Some of Sarah Francis's best qualities also make it challenging to parent her. She is smart, strong-willed, passionate, opinionated, and unwavering. She is quite the formidable opponent in a debate or an argument. She does not back down. I really think she would make an excellent advocacy attorney, although she says that does not interest her, but we'll see. She has been this way since birth. When she was an infant, I had to go back to work when she was only 3 months old. So she went to daycare. She refused to take a bottle and would not eat for 8 to 9 hours until I picked her up. This went on for probably a month. I'll never forget what her caregiver said one day, and it still rings true about her now. Sarah Francis is a woman that knows exactly what she wants, and she will take nothing less than that. Sarah Francis, we look forward to see what the future holds, and we love you very much. You go, girl.
Hi guys. I wanted to say thank you to my mom for a great introduction, and thank you to everyone here, both physically and virtually. It means a lot to me that all of you would take time out of your day to listen to what I have to say. I would also like to give a shout out to my mom and dad for working around their busy schedules to make it here, and for allowing me to write about whatever I want. You guys are in for a treat. And lastly, I want to give a shout out to my rat, Audrey. I know you aren't in here right now, but you are so sweet and caring, and your passion for GPS is undeniable. I hope you have an amazing time here, and we grow and learn together this year during these uncertain times. I would like to start off by saying that by no means does my bad experience reflect on this school in any way. It has made me who I am today, and I am forever grateful for that. Now, I'll just say, 4 years ago, I could have never seen myself saying those words. But to be completely honest, I was not innocent. In the words of Miss Gordon, I was a mess. And she wasn't lying. I was an impulsive, emotional, insecure, angry at the world mess. Freshman year for me was an emotional nightmare. Not only was I at a new school, but I was at a new school without boys. What a tragedy. Now, I can't flirt in my math class instead of paying attention. And sadly, that flirting in middle school didn't earn me too many points at GPS because I had to drop out of my math class. My flirtatious endeavors happened to distract me from learning how to factor. What a shame. Mr. Zeller, my advanced algebra teacher, had to deal with that one. But math was the least of my troubles when I came to GPS. Let's just say I didn't have too many friends. But I don't blame you guys sitting in the audience because I wouldn't have wanted to be my friend either. My original impression coming into this school was that all of you were weird and wouldn't understand me because of my deep, deep trauma of having to leave my incredible boyfriend of 2 months that was an up-and-coming rapper who I supported wholeheartedly. Sadly, this boy and I didn't last, and he has now run away from his family and lives somewhere out west. But freshman year me thought that he was the one. His long, luscious, greasy hair, an everlasting stench of body odor really attracted me. One time, Coach Carlin caught me exchanging loving texts with him during World History, and sadly some technology demerits were received. But no, guys, do not worry, that wasn't my fault at all. The rules here were just really irrational, like paying attention in class. I don't know who came up with that. So now what am I supposed to do? I can't even flirt virtually at this point, and I have no friends. Oh, I know the answer. Take some mirror selfies in the bathroom, add a questionable caption, and post it to the Finsta. Yeah, well, that also was not my brightest idea at the moment, because sadly, when GPS heard of my bathroom activities, my phone was taken for a calendar year. No, I'm not kidding. I remember the date too. September 18th, 2017 to September 18th, 2018. Okay, so now we're right. No phone, no virtual flirting, no friends, no mirror selfies. I am completely devastated. You may ask yourself, what did she do next? Start following the rules? Maybe stop being so rude to everyone and try to make some friends? Well, you are all wrong, because I actually told my rapper boyfriend and his friend about all of the, quote, horrible things GPS had done to me, and they decided to take matters into their own hands by emailing GPS and threatening to burn down the school. But that was not all they said. They also called the school a cult and a terrorist organization. Now that is what I call creativity. And of course I got in trouble for this, but I can never make mistakes, so actually none of this was my fault, and moral of the story, GPS is stupid. I'm kidding. I was the absolute worst, and GPS is actually the opposite of stupid, because look at me now, guys. The smart, fun, sweet girl who does not date scary rapper boys. And you know why I am the way I am? This school right here. They may have absolutely annihilated me freshman year, but they also made me realize how I am a smart, powerful, outgoing, and mature young lady, and I really don't know how they did it. I personally thought that I was a lost cause. I wish my angsty freshman self could see me standing on this stage talking about how much I love GPS and how much I hate her. Well, I don't really hate her, but let's just say I am glad that I have matured since then. She would probably say that I was brainwashed, but I was not. GPS just taught me how to be a better person and how to not only grow from my mistakes, but learn from them. I want to personally thank Miss Gordon and Miss Jackson for not only calling me out, but for not giving up on me. Every time I would ever get in trouble, they would always say to me, Sarah Francis, you are so bright, but you are hiding that by your actions, and they were right. I have remembered that quote every day since I heard it. I wanted to show them that I could grow into the young woman that they envisioned. And guess what, guys? I did. This chapel talk was something I never thought that I would have the chance to do. I never thought I was going to last past that year. Shout out to Tatum Spears for convincing me to stay at GPS at the Baylor-McCallie soccer game freshman year. I would not be up here on this stage without you, but I am, and I'm telling all of you that need to hear it, keep pushing, keep trying, and do not give up. I promise your rapper boyfriend cheating on you is not the end of the world. You will come out stronger and happier on the other side. Every single hard part in life is there to teach you something and to help you become the best version of yourself. I was so lost in who I was and what I stood for before I came to this school. I lacked purpose and motivation, and that left me with nothing but stress and anger. This school helped me find that purpose and gave me a reason to want to do better. They taught me that my future is something I should value. I discovered my love for science. I learned how to respect myself and others. I learned that actions mean more than my words. And my spunk and rebelliousness from freshman year has developed into a passion and engagement for learning. And my self-righteousness has matured into a newfound independence. Although I am only 17, and I definitely do not have my entire life planned out, for example, I barely even know what I want to major in or where I want to go to school, and I definitely understand that as you grow and mature, paths change, because when I was younger, I wanted to be a vet, but then I realized that you had to put down dogs, so I moved on and I never looked back. So when I say I found a purpose or discovered myself, I don't mean that I woke up one morning with a light bulb over my head, or became a philosopher, or astral projected and met my inner spirit. None of that. But I mean that I know why I do what I do, and why I work so hard in school, why I stay up late finishing homework, why I study for tests, and so many more of the challenging aspects that come with being a GPS student. I never thought that I would have the amazing group of friends, family, and faculty that support me the way that they do. It is going to be really hard this time next year to move into a completely new space and have to reintroduce myself to hundreds of people. But I will take with me the life lessons that GPS has taught me and use that to be the best version of myself possible, so that I can form that same support system I have here wherever I end up. Thank you, GPS, for making me into someone that I absolutely love, and thank you all for listening.
Ooh.